like Hoody, I'm back cooking these goodies. Look at these views from cooking these foods. Yeah.
Howdy, hello, hey, how are you? Back with you after quite some time. Like I said, trying to ease back into this thing, but also don't really have as much time to be doing these videos because have to do other things in life now to subsist and generate income and have other responsibilities now. So these videos are slowly but surely coming back, few and far between, but hopefully more frequent in the future here. But anyways, I've been commissioned by a subscriber. Amber M is what she wants to be called. So shout out to you, Amber M. Thank you. To put Burger King Whopper Heavy All, classic on the channel, back in my face for the first time in a long time. And like I told you guys, I've pretty much been off the fast foods quite a bit. Every once in a while, I still do some fast food, but just not like I used to. But I am looking very much forward to this because yesterday was Whopper Wednesday and I was going to do it yesterday. Too busy, couldn't get around to it. The night fell, the sun fell, didn't have the natural lighting, don't have a setup like I said, which I might have to make again. But right now, car videos are the thing. Also in a rental, thanks to the fundraiser donations. I'm going this weekend, this Saturday. I'm leaving tomorrow morning, bright and early Friday, so I can get there in the evening. It's an 8-9 hour drive, land there, sleep, wake up the next day, and then I'm getting dunked into the holy waters to be washed and cleansed and renewed in mind, body, spirit. And yeah, so this is the night before. I just picked up my truck has 300,000 kilometers on it, which is a lot, and I just don't trust it for the drive. So with what I was able to generate and raise through the fundraiser, I was able to, get the music released. Now, rental car, driving, gas, all that. Didn't get the videographer on board because too expensive and he's too busy. So we're not getting that, but hopefully I'll get video of when I'm there. Not hopefully, I will get video of when I'm there. I'll get video of me getting dunked and maybe my testimony at the actual location, at the sanctuary, they call it. I've been in talks with pastor and then his associates, this Karen and Tina. So I've got all the details, the locale, everything. Leaving bright and early tomorrow morning, get there, sleep. Saturday is Dunkin' Day. And yeah, that's where I'm at. And this is where we're at. Eating Burger King soon. And then I'm going to talk about something very pertinent to the channel. We're going to have a talk about addiction and my take on it. Disease, choice, or an amalgam of the two. All right, meet me there. The angels are with me. We got the 555 following the 555 license plate. They're always around. Can't make this shit up. Every day they surround me. And it's another lucky day. They got the 2 for $10 mix and match. 2 Whoppers for $10. On for the cheap. I might actually get a chicken sandwich and a Whopper though, because I don't think I could even stomach 2 Whoppers these days. Quite honestly. A little ordering segment. Haven't had one of these in 2.5 years.
Hi, welcome to Burger King, where you rule. Are you collecting all the unit as today?
Nope.
What can I get for you?
Can I get the 2 for $10 mix and match, please?
Yeah, sure. You want both Whopper sandwich?
No, I'm gonna do 1 Whopper, 1 original chicken.
Yeah, sure. You want to add bacon and cheese for your Whopper sandwich?
No, thank you, but can I do heavy all?
Yeah, sure. On both sandwich?
Yes, please.
Got it. Anything else for you?
Yeah, a small onion rings or medium, whichever. Yeah, medium onion rings.
Oh, you want the medium onion ring? Sure. Anything else for you?
That'll be it, thank you. Gotta save that for the business taxes. Run it like a business, they said. Something I always had trouble doing with my YouTube channel. Never being egregiously monetizational in terms of slinging products and just shilling products. Like so many people become YouTubers or TikTokers and then they just shill products from China, Temu. Speaking of which, actually, and I didn't mean to segue into that or to sell you anything, but I know lots of times people look at me and like, oh, this guy's fancy because like you see these shades, right? They look quite nice, right? They look expensive. $7.50 on Temu. And Temu's legit, man. People are like, well, I don't want to order from there. It's probably going to come wrong and they're going to send me some wrong stuff. Everything I've ordered off Temu has come quickly, efficiently, cheap, and accurate and on point. So Temu is like a legit site. I ordered my wedding outfit for my cousin's wedding. It was very cheap. Secure. Let's go find a place to eat this then. It's heavy. Man, BK is always so heavy. We've always noticed this. All right, well, sack is secured. Bag sniffer. It's been so long. It has been so long. I have not had Burger King in probably a year, quite honestly. And, wowie, Also, let me bring you down for the real thing, Cam. I fully bought one of these steering wheel trays for future videos. Yeah, I did it. Steering wheel tray. It's really a thing. It's happening. I'll show you. Steering wheel tray. Let's equip it. Also, Temu. $11. Came in 2 days. So, or was it 11? Maybe $7.99 even, I think. Anyways, let's equip it and come down for some real time. All right, we're on the steering wheel tray, and this is how real it gets on the cinematic cam, right? This is how real it gets. Ooh, look at that. Somebody once said in my videos that the Burger King people must have a crush on me because they always make my burgers look amazing. And you might just be right. That or I'm really nice on the microphone, and that translates to how they make your food. Maybe consider that. And then we got the chicken sandwich, a little football chicken sandwich. Got this whole meal looking delectable. Let's get into it. Oh, it's been so long. All right, y'all, we're on the cinematic cam. We're at a distance. He has napkins or paper towels this time. I brought my own Fuse iced tea. If you've never had these Fuse iced teas, they're amazing. There's a 0-cal one. This one has 110 calories per can, the raspberry. It's got sugar, but I'm not too worried about it because we're splurging today. Okay, back to basics. Hopefully the rustling of the trees isn't too bad, but it's too hot in here to not have the window cracked. Look at that. Look at that guy. Right there. Up close and Percy. We're back in the wrapped baby bonnet. Whopper wrapper. Classic. Classic. One more time. Look at it. All right. It's been so long. He's mayo-y already. Maybe we just let him be mayo-y. Mary and mayo-y for a bite or two. Wow. I truly forgot how good. Dangerous. Very, very dangerous. That hits home in a way that I Haven't had something hit home in a long time. Wow, I forgot. I truly forgot. I didn't forget that I used to stack these boys inside, but it looked too beautiful to deconstruct, so we'll just do it like this. A ring on a bite. I wanted to talk about like a more serious topic in this, but this has just completely thrown that off because I'm in such food bliss that I haven't been in a long time. And right there is one of those perfect bites where it's juicy, pickle, tomato, onion, like the mayo is, oh, it's just, this is one of those perfect bites, especially with a ring. Wow. Thank you, Amber. But also thank you, the people inside. They really nailed this. Saucy bots. I now understand, after all this time off fast food, onion ring and the zesty. There we go. She's focusing. I'm tasting the addiction. How it can be so addictive. Suppose I could segue into my addiction topic in this video. As somebody who has struggled with and been through my own addictions as it pertains to a substance or substances, but in my case, just really alcohol. It's my DOC, it's my drug of choice. I don't really, nothing else intrigues me. Even like nowadays, cigarettes are really gross to me. Like I don't do any of that, but no, I'm not judging anybody who does smoke or vape or whatever. And in fact, I'm not trying to judge anybody because I know that we're all humans. We all struggle with stuff. My take on addiction is that, first and foremost, as human beings, we're all addicted to something. I don't care who you are. If you're human, you have an addiction of something. Work, money. Money's a huge one. It's the biggest idol in this matrix. In society, workaholism and money earning and money addiction is not seen as a bad thing, though, most generally. Sometimes with certain people, they'll say, well, at the end of their life, they'll go, well, I was a workaholic and I idolized money and it took away time from my family, from my kids, from my wife. So in that sense, like that can even be a eroding the family type addiction. But then there's also the whole thing of like, you want to provide and you want to give your kids nice things and then the material and da. But material and time, like those are two strange things to, it's like you want to give your kids and your wife and whoever, your girlfriend, whatever, the people that you love, the nice things, but it's also like they miss out on your time. So there's that type of addiction. Then there's video games, there's pornography, there's working out. Some people get addicted to bodybuilding to the point that they push their body to when they die early because they're taking all these steroids and drugs and HGH, human growth hormones, and they push their body to the limit that way in that addiction. Tattoo addiction, it's endless. Food addiction, fast food addiction. There's fast food addicts. There's health nut addicts. People who go the opposite way and they're like, I'm fasting and I like only drink vegetable juices because I don't want to be fat, and then they become emaciated and malnourished, and then they die because they didn't nourish their body, they weren't eating enough. And then there's also drugs, sex, cigarettes. All of it. So addiction comes in many, many forms. And if you're on the other side of the screen and your righteousness saying, well, I'm not an addict, I'm not addicted to anything, it's like you just don't have a outward view of yourself then, because you're lying. We're all addicted to something. I don't care who you are, you're addicted to something. It's just that in society, certain addictions are deemed as more acceptable than others, less destructive, more productive. Fine, fair enough. I can get behind that logic. When it comes to chemical substances, they are more destructive. They change your thinking. Reason goes out the window, inhibitions go out the window. You become more apt or prone to do stupider things and make poor decisions that might hurt yourself or others in the process. And that I completely agree with. I'm not saying that that's not the case, especially as it pertains to alcohol being probably the worst one. I think alcohol is the biggest gateway drug. They say weed, marijuana. Nah, alcohol. As soon as you get drunk enough, at least for me in my experience, it's like I'll kind of try anything in a sense. And the lowering of the inhibitions with alcohol, you kind of have this invincibility cloak type feeling. And anytime I tried other drugs back in the day, party drugs, it was through alcohol. Had I not been drunk, I would have never done these other drugs. No way. So alcohol is truly one of the most destructive, I believe. Psilocybin mushrooms, marijuana, things like this, they can be detrimental and deadly too, and they can actually change your psyche to the point where like you are in like a perpetual psychosis and you don't come out and you're just never the same again. That's all very scary. I've seen it happen to people actually, and it's very tragic and unfortunate. Where they were kept neurochemically changed either for life or for a long time. It took them years to get back to some semblance of normalcy, whatever normal is, because I'm pretty much convinced that Earth is a cosmic insane asylum, and everything here is actually technically insane, in a way, if you understand that. I refer to the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, I think it's called, something like that. Incredible movie where it's kind of about the quanta string theory, the metaphysical realm, how consciousness exists outside of time and space and 3D physical reality, and sort of like it sort of embodies the idea that everything that you could ever perceive or conjure up in your imagination is already occurring simultaneously right now in this moment somewhere in the world. That's what the movie kind of shows. And it gets to the point where the characters in the movie can just think thoughts and make them manifest in real time instantaneously in that moment. So like she can just turn into like an everything bagel and then turn into like a witch and like teleport and transport, and it's an insane movie. Watch it if you've never seen it. Whoever's responsible for the videography and the editing and the special effects is like absolutely next level brilliant. But anyway, getting off topic, back to the topic at hand, spitting out food apparently too. Just using it like this. I want to just nail down this from my lens. When people talk about addiction being a choice, wow, spitting out more food, a choice or a disease, I see it as a merging of the two. And here's my take on it, as somebody who's struggled with it myself. I'm in full agreement that it starts as a choice. You get presented by society with this thing that technically is deemed societally appropriate by the masses, alcohol namedly, but other things too, or you get influenced by somebody around you, or you seek it yourself, whatever. You initially make a choice to partake in a chemistry-altering, mind-altering substance. You make the choice. For most addicts, what they will report is that when they took that certain substance, the one they do get addicted to, it is a euphoric feeling of home. It's this feeling that all your life you've never felt in place. You've had insecurity, you've been shy, nervous, introverted, uncomfortable in your own skin. And you find a substance that you put in your body, and the way that it reacts to your chemistry makes you feel like, I've been searching for this feeling my whole entire existence. So once you feel that, okay, then you start making the choice again, over and over, and it's still a choice. And this is when you're still in the choosing choice mode of the addiction, okay? So you start making this choice over and over and over and over again, right? Now creeps in the physical dependency. So now your body is becoming physically dependent, chemically and physically dependent on having the substance in your body. So now it goes from choice to sort of necessity. Still a choice, but also necessitative to not feel like utter trash, because now you've entered the realm of sort of, you're kind of in the realm of withdrawal. You're kind of in the realm of like, I don't know how to function without this because I don't feel comfortable in my own skin. I feel even more uncomfortable than I did previously, right? Because now you're entering into like withdrawal types of symptoms. So now the choice is starting to kind of go out the window, and now it's becoming like a little bit of a dependency. So now you're in the physical dependency. Once you're in that, and your tolerance and everything starts going up and up and up, and you have to use it more and more and more, you find yourself ultimately in the disease. And that's when you're in full-blown addiction, because you have to look at the word disease. we think of the word disease and we just think, oh, it's a disease. You get a disease. You have a disease. You're born with a disease. You develop a disease. Well, in this, you develop a disease, but you have to compartmentalize the word. Dis-ease. And when you're in addiction, when you're in physical dependency, when it comes to withdrawal, and all the things that can go wrong in withdrawal, delirium tremens, psychosis, all these things, in order to get, and that's why they call it getting a fix, right? When you break your arm, you have to fix it, right? When your stomach hurts, you take some Pepto-Bismol to fix it. When your car breaks down, you fix it. Well, when your body's breaking down from withdrawal, that's why you need to fix yourself by taking the substance again, because that gets you back to a baseline level where you're not in dis-ease. You're back at ease. Okay, I have my fix. I'm back at baseline. I'm good. But then that starts to fall away again. So now you're just trying to maintain. And then when you are truly addicted to a substance, you can't just stop at that. You're going to keep going, and then you get to the euphoric high and all that. So it's what goes up must come down. But then you find yourself strapped to a physical dependency, neurochemical dependency, and now you are in dis-ease. Okay, so now you have a disease at that point. And at that point, it takes extreme measures, recovery, a withdrawal period, weaning off, weaning down, dangerous just to stop. Even with SSRIs, even with certain pharmaceuticals, people go in for surgeries, major athletes. It happens to athletes all the time. Motocross guys especially, their bodies get all broken and banged up. They get put on these opiates or whatever. They get sent home with a bottle of pills for the pain. Next thing I know, they have a chemical dependency on these pain pills. Athletes get ruined by it all the time. So it's not just any one walk of life, it's every walk of life, and it's because it's these chemicals that are so powerful, and they take a hold over your mind and your body. Now, I'm going to equate this to your phone. You don't think you're addicted to your phone? Of course you are. We have it in our hands all the time. And even if you're somebody who's disciplined with your smartphone, you're still addicted to your phone regardless, even if you put it down most of the day. You'll still find yourself on here scrolling, doing da-da-da. Okay, so imagine trying to not use your phone for a week at all. I know it's a necessitative function. You got to do your banking and blah, blah, blah. Set that aside. Think of just not reaching for your phone. Okay, that's just a phone. And it's a week. Think of saying to yourself, I'm never going to reach for a drink, a cigarette, a drug, sex, whatever, again for the rest of my life. Okay, for the rest of my life, not just a week, not a month, not 6 months, not a year, the rest of my existence. I'm not going to reach for that. And instead of it being a phone, it's a chemical that you ingest into your system that has this power to put you in a space where you feel okay being you. You feel at home in your skin, you feel okay in your body, and you feel allowed to be a human. You feel allowed to take up space. You feel allowed to have an opinion. You feel allowed to express your POV, your point of view. You feel allowed to partake in the conversation. You feel allowed to move freely. That's addiction. So choice or disease, I think it starts as one, it ends up in the other, and it's a coalescence of the two, and they're intertwined, and it's a mess. But for the people who are self-righteous and they condemn these people, oh, you're just an addict piece of shit, da 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 da, and it's a choice. Those people are either lying to themselves about their own addictions, completely self-righteous, with no compassion or empathy, which pisses me right off. Or, and this is what I noticed most generally, most people who have that take are people who didn't do drugs or didn't do alcohol, which is fine. Thank you. Like, that's good for you. But they were severely hurt by the circumstances of others around them who abuse drugs and alcohol. And these type of people are the ones who are the most vicious, because they're deeply hurt and they're deeply traumatized by someone that they loved who took part in chemical substance addictions, and they were either abusive towards them, or they took their own life, or they these are people who are deeply traumatized by people who used drugs and alcohol and substances, and now they have pain and anger and bitter and jaded energy towards anybody who has ever done that, because and then they're the ones who grandstand and be like, it's a choice. It's like, if you haven't been through it, you don't know. You're lying to yourself about your own addictions that aren't seen as bad, and you're probably deeply hurt and traumatized by somebody, and I'm sorry that that's the case for you. That's not cool. I don't think that's cool. In my abuse of substances, I've, by proxy of that, hurt people around me emotionally speaking, because they don't want to see someone that they love like that, and I know that. That's not lost on me, and that fuels guilt and shame inside of me, which makes me want to use again, but I can't, and I don't want to, because it's a self-perpetuating cycle to keep hurting myself and keep hurting the people around me. It's not fun. Lots of times people think that addicts delight in their addiction, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. Addicts are already so riddled with shame and guilt. That's mostly why they use anyways, to escape that pain, but then they keep that loop going, and they make it so it's a snake eating its tail, basically, right? And so they find themselves back in that pain because they cause pain, and then so they want to self-destruct again, but then it causes the same pain. But generally speaking, most people I know who are stuck in addiction, they don't take pride in the fact that they're hurting people. They don't delight in it. These are people who are, they're hurting. They are deeply hurting. They are in existential pain, existential dread. They probably feel pretty lost, pretty purposeless, and they're just trying to find a way through the best way that they know how. And unfortunately, this is the best way that they know how. And it's tough, because it affects society in a very dark, destructive, and hard way. It affects the person who's in the addiction in the same way, and the people around them, their family, their friends, and innocent bystanders who sometimes get the shitty end of the stick of someone who is in full-blown addiction. So all of these factors are not lost on me, but I think it needs to be looked at with a larger, wider, more panoramic lens in view, rather than just this rigid, dismissive, hate-filled, screw you guys because you struggle with a different form of addiction than I do. So I'm all about communication, compassion, empathy, understanding, trying to figure out why people end up there. That's more of it, because then there can be healing. You got to get to the root of the issue, and many times these people also feel super alone, and like they're not allowed to even express how they ended up where they are, because they'll be shooed off, dismissed, unheard, not cared about, and seen as less than a piece of street trash, less than litter. So that's my take on it. Starts as a choice, ends in disease, and there is a way back. There are ways back, but people need support. They need love. They need help. They need understanding. They really need kindness, but also they need to want it And that's the ultimate thing. They need to want it for themselves. They need to want to live life in a more optimal way. And they need to want to stop hurting themselves. And in doing so, stop hurting the people around them. So I will end that one here. I did want to talk about that. It's a serious topic to me, at least in my world. I think in a lot of people's worlds, everybody's kind of, I think most people have kind of, this has touched their lives in some way. So that's my take on it. And, you know, I'm just happy to be where I'm at right now. I'm doing very good as it pertains to my abstinence and my sobriety. I'm going on this mission. I'm going on this journey to be further cleansed, to further accept that, like, this is the life that I want. I just want to be my optimal, my best self, and not self-destruct and not destroy myself anymore and not hurt people because of that. And I'm making my foremost concerted effort every day to make the right choices. To go for my big walks, hour and a half, to try to stay off the bad food as much as possible, be productive, stay off any sort of like substance vices. Not that I really, like I said, I'm not a vapor. I used to smoke cigs a little bit here and there, generally when drinking, but cigarettes are, to me, it's just like, if I smoke one, it's like, ugh, this is gross. Like, it tastes gross, gives me a weird head rush. I just don't enjoy it. And then any other drugs, I'm just like, no. I couldn't even handle a puff off a joint. Definitely no, like, MDMA or anything like that. Cocaine is crazy to me now. Like, back in the day, I used to do some, once again, while I was drinking, as a balancing act thing. But I was never, like, super heavy into, like, sober coke is crazy. Doing sober lines sounds the most insane thing to me ever. So yeah, my final battle, just ridding of alcohol, and then the hardest one actually for me is just the wrestling of the flesh as it pertains to my affinity for women. And that'll be another video that I'll talk about that, because I do want to talk about it. Women are my weakness. They really are. They have been ever since I was in grade 2. Okay? I had my first girlfriend in grade 2. She lived down the block from my grandma. She used to tackle me and kiss me in the snow. And ever since then, I've pretty much been addicted to the opposite sex. So do with that what you will. Just know that you're not alone out there as well. I know lots of people feel really alone with these things, but you're not. And, you know, our logical mind knows that. Our logical mind knows that there's other people struggling. And you're not alone in the struggle. And you can find your way out. You really can. If you want it bad enough, you have the strength inside of you. And I believe that you can do it. So I'm going to wrap that here. Till the next one, eat good, live well, stay true.
If you like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe, as well as check out my pinned comment down below to find other ways to support this channel. Thank you for watching. Eat good, live well, and stay true.